Hello, I am Ashton, and I chose for my project to research post-quantum cryptography. I'm going to be talking about what it is, why it's important, and what the difference is between it and normal cryptography. But to start, I need to go a little bit into what quantum computing is and how it's different from normal modern-day computers. So, on the left side here, we have a computer with 12 bits available. Each of these bits can either be a 1 or a 0. And there are a total possible amount of configurations equal to 2 to the 12th. Each time the computer needs to make a decision or store data, or it has to pick one of those configurations of ones and zeros. Now that is a large number of possible configurations, but it can only pick one at a time, as each of these bits can only be 1 or 0 at one time. But on the other hand, a quantum computer has things called qubits or quantum bits. And these bits exist in a state of superposition, which is the idea that the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment is based on. So, if you haven't heard of it, Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment where they put a cat in a box with a mechanism that may or may not kill it. So, until you open the box, you don't know whether the cat is alive or dead, which means the cat is both alive and dead at the same time until you open the box and observe what's in it. So, these qubits are in superposition. They are a bunch of cats that are alive and dead, or a bunch of bits that are both 1 and 0 until they are observed, and they are forced to be in one or the other. So, a quantum computer with 12 bits would also have 2 to the 12 possible formations, the same ones as a supercomputer. But the quantum computer doesn't need to pick one formation every single time. All of these formations are already there because each of the bits are both 1 and 0 already. They don't need to change every time. They're already both 1 and 0, right? To break it down a little bit in more of a simpler analogy, imagine a supercomputer and a quantum computer were playing chess. A supercomputer, much like the human brain, if they want to know what moves they can make, they would one by one go, okay, I can move this piece here, or this piece there, this piece across, this piece up here, one by one, slowly breaking it down. A quantum computer, on the other hand, would look at all the pieces and all at the same time check where all of them can move in the same instant, which is exponentially faster than how human brains and supercomputers work. So, why do we need post-quantum cryptography? Well, most modern day encryption that is used in things like asymmetric keys use intense or hard to solve mathematical problems like factoring of a big number, because there is no good algorithm to guess the factors of a 1,000-digit number. It's mainly trial and error, which computers can do with enough time, but it's usually like a laptop that you have would be up to like that, literally thousands of years to break such an encryption. So it's a good enough deterrent, hopefully, to stop people from trying to. But a quantum computer is much better at trial and error and brute force attacks because a quantum computer doesn't need to try one thing at a time. It can try up to thousands of things at a time, depending on how many qubits it has. For example, it's like barring up your house and locking it to prevent being robbed. A normal robber would see that and most likely say, I won't try this house, but they still could if they wanted to, and wanted to take the time to slowly saw away at the metal bars. But a quantum robber would show up with a lightsaber and instantly slice away all that metal. But a new method they've been trying is to use quantum mechanics against quantum computing. Like I said, when you observe something in superposition, it has to pick one of the positions. So, if a sender wanted to send something to a recipient, they would send these photons that are in a certain polarization. So vertical, horizontal, diagonal to the left, or diagonal to the right. And then the recipient would receive them, run them through a filter, and then they would ask the sender which filters they used and drop the incorrect ones. Now, I may be not exactly correct there, but that is my general understanding of this system. But the most important thing is that if an eavesdropper or a man in the middle attack tried to view the information these photons were sending, they would change because they were observed. So once the recipient received these photons after they were eavesdropped on, they'd be in a different order, in a different polarization, so the filters wouldn't work. So even with the sender's key, it'd be gibberish, which flags to the recipient that, oh, these messages have been intercepted. Now, this is not a way to prevent from attacks, but it is a great way to know if you've been hacked or intercepted. So, what can you do to prevent yourself from quantum attacks? Nothing yet. And don't worry, mainstream quantum computing is not ready yet. It's still many years, up to a decade away. So for now, all you can do is just keep up to date on software updates for your antivirus, for your browsing, for your operating system, because once companies develop these post-quantum cryptography methods and they deem it worthy to send out to people because they think it's a threat, they will. So just keep up to date on your software updates, and once this becomes a threat, everything should be handled. And that is all I have. Thank you.